everyone. Welcome back to Children's Music and Cochlear Implants. My name's Karen.
And I'm Erin.
And it's been a couple weeks since I saw you. I hope you watched that bilingual video that we had posted last week. And this week, it's all about instruments for the beginner. So your tip this week for collecting instruments for your beginner is to just start collecting. You don't have to get a whole bunch of instruments at the same time. I would just start with one or two at a time and use rhythm instruments. Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Well, here's a little collection that we put together for you. Now, of course, one of the favorites of all time would be the drum. Now, this is a fun one, but I also like for little ones just to use hand drums. Plus, it's not as loud as the one with the drumstick. And they like to use these on the ground and up in the air. So we have hand drums. Then, another one that all children tend to love are bells. I prefer these type of bells. They have Velcro on them. Why? Because then they can put them on their wrists. They can put them on their ankles. And they can do whatever they like with these little bells. Right? Yep, those are great. Okay, as I keep going, I have a maraca.
Yep, also a very popular one.
More bells. These are cute. This is yours, isn't it?
Yeah, and I like this. It's kind of like a castanet, but it's really great for fine motor because it's already connected. So if they can get their fingers on both sides, this one looks like a little ladybug, and kind of click along. That's a really fun one.
Also, we have sand blocks. You can make these at home, or you can just go buy them. It makes different sounds we talk about. So I would bring out these instruments or purchase them one at a time, and then I would just let your child explore with them, play with them. These are cymbals, little tiny cymbals. We also have finger cymbals. Like I said, these are things that Erin and I would recommend for little ones.
And you notice that Karen has them in kind of one big container, and that's a really great storage idea as opposed to mixing them in with your regular toys. When they come out, maybe it's music time, because we talk a lot about making music like a way of life in your home and keeping everything in one spot so they can get excited when you bring it down. It's time to do instruments will help them kind of associate them all together.
In my family, I have a crock pot, and it's full of rhythm instruments, and the children, when they would come over, they knew that they could have a parade at Aunt Karen's house. So here's a little clappers. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, I'll save those claps. This is called cassava. It's very tactile, which some of our children might need.
Yeah.
And then, here you go.
So this is not a rhythm instrument, but it's one of my most favorite, a kazoo. If you've got a little one, especially an early listener, and you're working on, voice off, you have to hum into it, so it's kind of fun to see them when they figure out how it works. So that's a great one for just basic production of sound using our voices.
And humming's great for warming up your voice. So again, I would let your child explore with them. I would not expect them, or don't expect them to start singing like Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star while they're playing the instrument, because just playing the instrument is enough for them to gather information, especially auditorily. And I noticed that it takes our children here at the school at least a couple of months to get used to playing the instruments, and then they start singing along, even though they do know the words for the
or
song.
Even when you get your child started and you turn on a tune and you play, you'll be able to watch your little one and see if they're not starting on that beat or finding that beat. You get to actually watch that grow. So the sooner you start, the better, because you'll see the day where you're like, oh, they found the beat. And the more rhythm instruments they play, the better for that music development and finding that sense of rhythm.
That is a great point. Great tip. So here's the last one. These are little egg shakers that fit in anyone's little hand. And again, they get to feel them. So those are a lot of different instruments that you can use at home.
And don't feel like you have to buy a whole set. No. You know, egg shakers, pick up one or two, and if your little one likes it, you could start to add to that instrument collection or box. And most of these are pretty affordable, generally speaking.
Yes, they are, and you can find them at garage sales.
Yeah. All right.
So that's your tip. So, Erin, what's the twist this week?
All right, so the twist this week is to make some of your own instruments. So I have a favorite one that I'm going to show you right now to show you how quick it is. It's making your own shaker. So kind of like the DIY version of our little egg shakers, which are probably full of something small. And to do it, you just need one toilet paper or paper towel tube. I use a stapler and tape. I'll show you how. And then something to put inside of it. And if you make more than one, fill it with different things because they'll sound different. I have beans right now because I already had these in my therapy room. But you could do it with rice. You could do it with pennies. You could put anything inside of these. So the first thing that I do is I take the little tube and I flatten it on one side. Just take it and smush it down. And then I'm going to put a couple staples on that side just to keep my things from pouring out. If you use something really fine like sand, you got to staple it really well. So then I get this. It's stapled shut on one side. And then I have my other side, so I'm going to fill it now. So scoop some beans inside of it.
I love this. I feel like I'm on HGTV or something.
Okay, and then what you do is you're going to now squish it the other way to make a little triangle. So this one is facing this way, this one is facing this way. You're making a little triangle container, and then you just staple the other side shut. And then the reason I have the tape is because staples can be a little pointy, although they usually come out pretty good, but I wouldn't want little fingers picking at them. So you could use duct tape if you've got it. I'm using blue electrical tape, but I just take a little piece and I put it here, like on one side, and then I just fold it over. And now I have covered up the metal staples on that side. And the nice thing with this too is that you can let your little one decorate them before or after you make it an instrument. You might want to decorate the tube first or make it a shaker and then let them paint it or put stickers on it or write their name on it.
Bedazzle it.
Yes, exactly.
Can't wait to hear it.
Okay, so here it is. And if you filled it with something else, it would sound different. So I encourage you to make a couple, make your own instruments, and maybe start the collection with that. And I'm not going to go through how to make this, but just to show you, even if you took, this had like, I think some pretend Apple toys in it, and I thought, wow, that's so drum-like. So I just took it and covered it with paper and then duct taped it shut so the lid had to stay on top.
Oh,
and this is also a favorite toy in my therapy room. So you can make a lot of instruments by decorating them, taping them shut, designating them to be instruments. But we encourage you this week to try making a shaker at home.
Great twist. So that's it for this week. Let's go over what we've learned so far today. So what is the tip?
So the tip this week is to start an instrument collection. Get a special box or bin and start collecting instruments for your child to play with.
And the twist?
And the twist is to make some of your own instruments and start with making your own shaker.
Awesome. Okay, so give it a try at home. And until next time we see you, please subscribe, don't forget, and keep on singing.